Alrighty, so I don't even know how I'm going to break this all up. As you guys saw, we have some serious transmission damage going on in there. Ultimately, there's and it's not, I got to read the book a little more. It looks like there's potentially 2 intermediate shafts inside of the transmission, and one of them, the bearings or the bushings on the end are completely shot. However, it does not look like one of the intermediate shafts that have a serviceable end to it. So I'm confused. I got to really do some reading on this. However, luckily, the torn up section that you see is just a spacer. So what that is we have a gear basically that should not be touching the spacer, is touching the spacer right now because of the excessive play in the shaft. That said, the teeth on that gear look good still, so I'm not super concerned. I think we can salvage this. Wow, though, this is not great because we have just over a month, like 5 weeks to the steam show. I'm trying to paint this thing. I'm trying to get the motor back together, and now we've got transmission issues, so can't unsee this one. It worked through all the gears fine, but we got to fix this. So we're going to do, I think, a separate video now on the transmission itself, and we're going to resume the painting and all the cosmetic stuff and the engine work. I'm waiting on a few gaskets, but we got to tear into this thing, so let's get to it. Alrighty, so we're taking a break here from painting as things are beginning to dry, and let's see, yeah, there it is. Alright, so we're gonna drain this gear case out, and I'm curious to see what is making our noise. I'm hoping it's just a bearing, but I am not quite sure. So we're gonna go ahead, drain this, and pop our rear cover. That's kind of why I didn't, kind of waited to prime the back there. Well, there's very sludgy, but I'm not seeing any chunks yet. All right, that's been draining for really not that long, but it's already kind of slowing down. I know it's a thicker oil, but I want to go ahead and start popping the bolts off of this cover. So we can get in here. Now it did go through all the gears pretty smooth. Well, I guess I never took it out at first. So I lied. I guess I don't have enough info to say that with confidence, but our favorite hammer. It's glued on there pretty dang good. Got a dowel pin in this corner. Couple corners, dowel pins. There we go. What is behind door number 1? So there's our planetary. Ooh. I think I see our problem. I think I see our problem, but I don't know for certain. Huh. Maybe not. Yeah, our planetaries look good, actually. Brakes look good, too. Maybe it could be a little better, but pretty dang good. I spoke too soon. I think our problem may still involve something in here, because more metal in places that we should not find metal. Oh no. This is a tooth. Oh goodness. All right. Oh man. As I was thinking, because I'm looking at this, there's damage to a bearing race slash maybe this is like a thrust washer that got eaten up. We're gonna have to play detective. This definitely, I mean, there's a few pieces in here. I just dropped one. There's a number of pieces, but those were kind of the only pieces in here. All right, I'm not feeling anything else. I'll bring you guys in closer. I just gotta wash my hands. Alrighty, so I don't know how much you guys can see. I have to look at the manual, but there is obviously some damage there to the bearing. I don't know if it's the bearing race per se, but it's oblonged there, and I think that's kind of what we're dealing with here. Again, at first I thought it was a tooth, but it's like this very thin bearing race slash like cover material, like the end cap, and I'm guessing that's where it came from, because I don't feel any other metal in here, so I'm hoping it's just from that, and then we'll reference the book and see where that's coming from. All right, pardon the afternoon sun here. My next thought and plan of attack here is we're gonna remove this. This is the shift arm housing, or shifter. Oh, good Lord. Shifter housing. We're gonna, yeah, there it is. But again, I don't know. Oh, there it is. She just needed a little encouragement. Can I get this out? Yep. All right. There's our, can you guys see this? Yeah. There's our shift fork assembly. Sweet. A little worn on the, like a little wear marks here and there, but Doesn't look bad. So that's good, I think. Maybe not. So essentially what is happening right now is we have this little guy right here. So we have our, I believe it's part of our reverse shaft. It's an intermediate shaft that works with our reverse system. This gear right here is what I believe to be. I believe it's this gear is making contact with this spacer right there. So this is our upper shaft. So this is where our drive shaft comes in. We can remove the drive shaft from this yoke, and then we can, in theory, remove the snap ring once we take this all apart and the shims, and then pull this shaft out. Then we have our actual counter shaft in here, or intermediate shaft. This has our gears on it. And then this is what goes and meets inside the transmission with our planetary differential. So this is kind of the important shaft right here. However, we also have this reverse shaft, and this reverse intermediate shaft is what our issue is right now. I think it's either A, these bearings are completely shot, the thrust washer's shot, something of the sorts, because right now what's happening is this gear is chewing up that spacer, and while we can probably get away with it for a little bit, that's not how we're going to roll on this. We're going to take care of this. So we're going to pause everything else, and we're going to jump into this and make sure that we have a transmission that is ready to go. Alrighty, so our first step here is we're going to come in and remove our U-joint, or a yoke rather. Remove the drive shaft. We'll leave it at that. So we'll get this taken out, and then we have these end caps on the front of the transmission here that allows us to pull this apart. Ultimately, we're going to need some parts, so that's kind of another thing that's we got to consider in all this. The sooner we can get this figured out, what's up and what we need to do, the sooner we can order parts and give us a fighting chance of making the steam shell. But it is continuing to mount against us. We got almost more work than we can afford right now, but we're gonna rise to the challenge. We're gonna do it. We got 5 weeks, so barring any additional shipping issues or parts issues, I think we can do it. There's our itty bitty drive shaft. I'm hoping this is not the case, but I do see the writing on the wall. This brake shaft right here might have to come out, which I guess is not that big of a deal. Maybe I'm just making it to be a bigger thing than it is, but it'd be nice not to have to remove that, but we'll see. There it goes. All right, this guy. So then this comes off, and we got, someone's been in here, because this is, that dust seal is pretty decent looking. I wonder if someone I wonder if someone was in here doing like bearings, and then something got messed up on reassembly, and or they what I'm about to find out is that they were not able to proceed any further. I don't know. All right. There we go. All right, so there's a nut on the bottom of that one. Alrighty, I just checked. We are supposed to be able to just drive this out. So, holler at me if you guys see it move. She's moving. Let's see. Okay, kind of stacking stuff as we push it out. All right, let's see. Keep on going. All right. Gotta keep coming, but all right. Oh yeah. So you see, there's another spot where that gear was being contacted there, so this is good we're doing this. Oh man. Yep. There's our spacer completely worn through by that other gear. And here's our end bearing, which is not the worst, not the best. I would show you guys more if I could even see it. Yeah, we got some pretty serious tooth wear on that gear, but it's all right. All right, so that should be everything off of that shaft. Now here's another gear. Okay, that's it, everything off that shaft. Intermediate shaft out with the reverser, because that's just walled out. I mean, that's seriously damaged in there. All right. Alrighty guys, we're at a crossroads on this thing, and ultimately we have to take the transmission completely out of this thing, and which means we got to break the tracks, we got to remove the rear end from the actual tractor itself to then disassemble the final drives from the transmission, just so we can get the differential out, and just so we can get that itty-bitty little shaft out to figure out what's up. In one clip, which I just showed, that it almost looks like the shaft snapped. I don't understand exactly what that silver piece is at the end, but the I don't know if the shaft is broken or the bearing is completely gone, but ultimately I can't do anything with that differential in there, and I can't remove the differential, the planetary set, out of the back there without removing the whole thing, which means the track's got to come off. We got to remove the rear sprockets. The final drive and transmission assembly kind of bolts up to the frame rails on this, so we're gonna have to remove that out of the tractor, and then separate the final drives from the actual differential by pulling the primary shafts out of those, and then there's 4 bolts that kind of cap on to the that bolt from the final drive, that tube right there. There's 4 bolts underneath that face, so once you remove that out, then you can undo those, so then you can slide the differential back out. It's a lot of work, and this is not good timing because we have a lot of work to do on this in general, but we're kind of left with no choice. We either save the tractor or not, and there's really not anything in between. I'm really hoping the gears look all right, salvageable at least, but I'm really hoping, you know, if we can't find bearings, maybe we can make bushings or something of the sorts. I don't know, we'll figure it out, but this is a bummer. This is not how I wanted to end today, but I was really stoked that we were actually finally getting everything put together and painted and getting the primer going, because this is the part of the project where everything's apart and you just want to kind of see it go back together, and we gotta fully disassemble this thing, so let's get into it. The master pin on this side is unfortunately underneath the machine, so I'm gonna see if I can spin the track. It might be a little bold of me to assume, but see if I can spin the track and get that pin on top. Oh yeah. Which may be what we do. You drive the pin out and then jack it up. I don't know. The old owner mentioned something about a loose pin. Well, I found it. It's the master pin on this side. It's already like half worked out, so. Oh, my trusty iPhone with limited battery life, we'll call it, died on me while I was taking the track off. Did that by hand. That was heavy, but it wasn't too bad, so I'll do it the same. This one, the pin was on the bottom, and it was actually already falling out because the weld had broken, so I've just pushed it out real quick and then jacked up the tractor using this the blade where it pivots on the track frame, and then lifted it up and then pulled it over. So that's there. Now, while it's still on the ground on the other side, I'm going to try and break this nut free, and it's got one of the like little washers here that's bent on over. Should be lefty loosey righty tighty. This is the Biggest wrench I have, got it from the dump. I think it's just barely gonna fit. All good things come from the dump. There we go. Oh, good Lord. Need someone to hold the brake. Maybe not. Maybe it'll hold itself. Oh, look at that. Whew. Oh, yeah. Take that. Little horsepower for you right there. Don't skip the gym. Gosh, that thing was on there, but we got her. Sweet, we got that broken free. We'll, I think grind the pin on the other side. Maybe get the other side track off so I can come out here tomorrow morning, start look at removing the track assembly, or the transmission and final drive assembly. It's not how I was anticipating this project to go. It's kind of, my mind thought we would be painting this thing up by midweek, and yeah. Also, I'll take this moment. So, you see the two hydraulic plugs right there and the hydraulic lines? Maybe, maybe not. But turns out this machine was actually a four-way blade, or hydraulic tilt, we'll call it. And that right there, that piston up forward, is actually supposed to be a hydraulic cylinder. But someone swapped it out for another brace, and then like static brace, and then welded everything up. So we'll dive into that more later. I don't think I'll return it to the four-way function, because I don't know, maybe it'd be cool. I still have to think on it, but it'd be cool to use these hydraulic fittings, because I have the spool and the lever up top. It'd be cool to use those to power a winch, so we'll see. Alrighty, it's the next morning. We gotta come out here. We're gonna split this track, get it down, loosen up this sprocket as well. We'll get these sprockets off. Then we're gonna come and take this whole transmission assembly out. It'll come with the final drives. I'll pull this drawbar off. But ultimately, I'm going to disconnect the final drives from the transmission using, or from this point, and leave the final drive assembly, because I don't anticipate any issues there. I will service them, but I don't have any play in the sprockets there, so I'm just going to remove it that way. It comes with this frame piece right here, so we'll do the 4 bolts on each side, as well as the 3 down there. So those will all come out. This will all come out as a unit, set it up on blocks, and then I'll split each side so we can get the transmission out, and then hopefully in the garage or somewhere cleaner than out in the dirt. I went ahead and cut the track pad off here real quick, and this will hopefully give us a little better idea of what's going on. Getting this out, I believe this is supposed to be a pressed fitting, so I understand it's probably a little tight, but I don't have a press, so we're gonna have to try and get this thing out of here without a press. I don't think it's welded on the backside, but we're gonna find out. Alrighty, here's where we're at. Looking at the book, these non-C-clip bushing or non-C-clip master links pins are supposed to be pressed out, and because I don't have a press that would work for this, what we're going to end up doing is I'm going to weld a nut to the outside of the link and then use a bolt to hopefully break this free and start it moving. While I'm also welding, this will heat all this up and hopefully kind of shock any of the rust free as well, and help with, this should be a tolerance fit, so the heating and cooling will be good for it as well. But anyway, grind this down, weld it up, let it cool, and then start pressing on it with this big guy. Alrighty, I'm gonna let that cool down a little bit, but it stayed pretty center, so hopefully this will do it. I don't think I got too many burrs in there, but yeah, essentially I'll probably put a little something in there, like a nut, so it presses on that first. But yeah, we'll see if we can get this thing moving now. All right, so this is what I was talking about. We'll kind of put that up in there. I don't know if this will work out as planned, but I don't want it to touch that first. I guess the other issue we may run into is this track pad here, but let's see. It's had a little bit to cool down, so can't tell Can't tell if she's moving. Tell you, it'll definitely hurt. This thing lets go on me. No doubt about that. All right, we'll see if this does us any favors. Oh man. I'm getting turns out, but I don't know what's happening. Oh, a lot of force on this. I think it is moving. I think it's moving. Wish I had this on a socket, but I don't have an 1.5 inch socket. I'm hoping that now, because we got this thing moving, I can get it by hand. Oh yeah. Oh wow. Okay. Sweet. This thing's gonna break free. Oh, there we go. Woo! Had some force. Oh. Yeah, this pin's actually pretty smoked. You guys may or may not be able to see it, but pretty decent groove in it. So I'll look at maybe getting this thing swapped out. Oh, Diesel Boy, what's up? The random bone. Oh, all right, I am very, very happy that worked. The old nut and bolt trick. I don't know if other people do that or if that's a known thing, but that worked for me. So hopefully it can work for you guys. All you need is a welder and a tractor supply. Alrighty, I'm gonna get this thing rolled out. The old finger pincher 9000. Sweet. We got this. We got this. Now, let's unbolt the sprocket before I jack it up in the air. That's our next step. The old dump pipe wrench. What the heck? Do I have to remove the rollers? That doesn't make sense. Huh. Also, apparently this track is not in as good a shape as I thought. A lot of these links are wore through, huh? Anyway. Yeah, it does not look like in its current what a design. You gotta take the idler off, the rear idler, to be able to pull this off. Oh, whatever. Alrighty, here I'll bring you guys in closer, but this chain in particular on this side is really bad. I mean, wore through there, wore through there, wore through there, wore down, wore down, wore down, all the way down. Almost every chain link is like that. This side is actually pretty decent still. It's definitely got a few little flat spots, but I mean, this one is eaten through right here, but that's about it. That's all I can tell right now. Maybe one or two down there, but yeah, that's unfortunate. Luckily, there is a guy local to me who has a set of these tracks that are supposedly in good shape for 600 bucks. We'll see if we can maybe get it a little cheaper if we decide to go that route, but those chains ain't gonna last all that much longer. And I don't want to tear up the rest of my undercarriage, but we'll see. Time to unbolt this. Alrighty, at this point in time, I believe we have everything disconnecting the transmission and the final drives from the frame itself. So, in theory, we're going to be able to just pull this back, because it's got to come straight back. It kind of sits into the channel there, so the outside frame rails like this, and it kind of comes inside, and it's the C. So, we're going to try and back it straight out. Once we get it straight out, then we'll just see how it balances, and I'm really hoping we don't have any issues. I have a strap around it, but wish us luck. Why did I think that was just gonna come right out? Oh yeah, there we go. He's moving. right, we've cleared the lower track portion on that side. All right, there we go. Oh. You need to lower this down. I don't think she's balancing all that well. I don't want to totally dump it. Ah, not bad. I've done a lot worse. I'll take it. All right, we got to get it a little further back so we can clear these fenders. Sweet. Would you look at that? Gotta love it when a plan comes together. Alrighty, so I have been hammering on this thing. I took a little break, but I mean, I was hammering on this. I can't get it to move. I don't want to risk doing any damage to the bearing inside the final drive or the final drive itself. Obviously, I'll probably have to come up with some sort of like puller tool, which is no big deal, but not a today project. And realistically, I don't need the sprocket off to separate the final drive from the actual transmission. As mentioned earlier, I'm going to be separating the transmission from this point right here, so on each side. So really it's just the drawbar, and then I think it's 6 bolts on each side. Pull those out, and then there's a 2-piece shaft. There's one shaft that's there, a coupling, and then another shaft. So yank those out, pull the shafts out, and then we'll get that hopefully in the garage. And I don't think I'll be able to get it up on the bench, but maybe, we'll see. Well, I tried to get the this to rest on some blocks, but again, the joys of working by yourself, it doesn't always work out. Before I undo the drawbar, because it's kind of acting as like a little brace right now, we're just going to crack all these loose and then start working them off. Nice. Alright, well my phone stopped recording, naturally, so it didn't catch me taking that other final drive off, but we will be able to get this one off, so it'll be all good. Get these bolts on, or nuts rather, undone. We'll strap the final, or the transmission rather, to the transmission jack. And then we'll get it in the garage. Looks like we're getting some weather, so we want to protect our final drives, that's for sure. Didn't get as lucky on this side. We only have one stud that's stuck with us, but we'll make do. Actually, let me grab paper. Little pea pad from Diesel when he was a pup, even though he's still kind of a pup, but that's beside the point. Pea pads work pretty dang good. And they work even better if I put them the right way. Glad I caught that. And actually, we can make this side a little lighter. We can remove the sprocket. This side, the sprocket just comes right off. But either way, I think it'll be fine. All right, there we go. Let me jack this up. Nope. Hopefully, is this? I ain't gonna go anywhere, is it? It's gonna go somewhere. Let's see, can we keep that? I need to rethink my straps here. Yep, that'll do it. Huh. What is that? It's just... Wow. A lot of, is that silt? Looks like it. A lot of silt or something up in here, but bearing looks good from what I can see. But yeah, oh, looks like that was leaking water. All right, we didn't drop it. Time to get it closer to the ground. I don't know if I can lift this. That might be crazy, but I could do it. Might not have much of a back left after it, to be honest. Maybe I think from here we'll take the differential out, move these off to the side, take the differential out, and then put the differential up on the bench, and then put this up on the bench. So to get our 5/8, zip this off and go from there. All right. So if I'm not mistaken, I gotta pull the brake, cotter pin out, slide this out, and then take each end cap off each side. That should get me where I need to go. So yeah, ain't nothing to it just to do it. Alrighty. So, let's see. Does it come this way? Will it come this way? Yeah, look at that. Okay, sweet. Maybe pull it to the center, maybe? There we go. There's one brake band out. It honestly doesn't look terrible. It's not worn down to the rivets yet. It's not glazed over. But it's not brand new. We'll have to see what some new ones cost, and maybe we'll spend the big bucks. This project's already kind of spiraling. But that's what you get with a free dozer. You get all the extra costs. But it's all right. It's fun. Still worth it to me. Let's do a little kickstand action right there. Not bad. Again. Huh. I was kind of expecting a little worse. Guess I'll be thankful for this. All right, the book is pretty particular about making sure this end cap goes with this side and vice versa on reassembly. So All right, got that out. Got a little board to help support us. So now we can hopefully just take this guy out. Oh, I don't want to damage that O-ring, because that, I believe, is our, yeah, it's our funnel drive O-ring. All right, let's see, a little sturdier. She's coming. There we go. There's a shim in there that we also want to be careful about damaging. There we go. Alrighty. Oh! I think we've got some issues. Nice. There's some spring material. And then, is that that came out of our like dust seal wiper portion. But how's I guess our roller bearing feels fine. We'll be able to inspect it a little better on the bench. Great. Now I got this thing stuck. Somehow very stuck. Oh man. There it goes. I'm gonna try and give it one more shot. There it is. Come on. Sweet. Oh. Success. Alrighty, so sure enough, we had to disassemble this entire tractor just to get this little guy right there off. Because this is the retainer for our reverse shaft, which is not doing so hot right now. Doing the best I can for camera angle here. Stay out of the view. There it is. There it is. Oh my gosh. I don't know if you guys can see that. This shaft's got some considerable wear. But at last, we can pull this dang thing out. And dun dun dun. I would say we found our problem. Holy crap. Roller bearing who? There's no roller bearing to speak of. There's nothing left. Let's see if we can go magnet fishing and pull something out of the other sump. Please excuse me as I'm between like a million projects, to include rebuilding our house right now, so I'm kind of leaning over some wood. So this whole thing is metal. I don't know what we'll find, but there's starting to get some, no big pieces. That's just wild to me that that whole thing, I mean, there's a very large bearing that is missing right now. And to not find, to not find anything would be very strange to me. But maybe, again, I'm kind of not really Doing a good job here in magnet fishing. Wow, I might have just ground it all down into a powder. Well, I think it's the end of the line for right now. I gotta find where the heck I can get this roller bearing. Maybe I can mic it out. I mean, I just don't understand how this got put back together without it. It had to have gone in there. I have no clue. I have no clue. Let me mic this out. I might have better luck, honestly, just getting a random bearing off of eBay, because that part's good luck. Alrighty guys, and with that, we are going to end today's video. I was able to mic out the reverser gears on the transmission there, and I was able to find a alternative bearing, because the roller bearing listed for that specific part is actually discontinued by Case. I was able to find a caged with an outer race bearing. I don't think that's going to make much of a difference. We do have that shaft which has drilled and slotted holes in it for oil passage, and I do believe that those holes will still be able to provide oil to that inside of the shaft and the rollers there. These are high-speed roller bearings rated for 12,000 RPM, so I don't think we'll have any issues there. I also went ahead and I've contacted a couple machine shops, and I'm working on getting a new spacer made up for that, as well as that spacer is also discontinued, and I cannot find even a used spacer available. So luckily, it doesn't have to be splined or anything crazy like that. It's a static spacer on a static shaft, so the gears don't spin independently on each side, which means we don't have to worry about it wearing down the face of the spacer. Regardless, as you guys can see behind me, we've got a ton of primer done on this thing, and we've got body panels everywhere scattered around. This tractor is taken completely apart. I have 3 different videos for this series going on at once. We have the engine, we have the paint, the prep, paint, and restoration portion, and then we also have this transmission video that's coming out. With that said, these will all be released out of order, so to speak. We have just a ton of progress going on, and so you'll see in different bits and pieces of the video. It's kind of glued together, but regardless, I hope you guys enjoy this video. The pressure is really on. We're less than 5 weeks, so we're just over 4.5 weeks to the Steam show. I am pretty anxious, but also hopeful that we will still have this all wrapped up and ready to go for that Steam show. We're waiting on some parts for the engine and parts for the transmission. So with that, we will see you guys on the next one, and stay tuned. It is starting to really get interesting, and we are cutting it close. We are down to the wire, but I think we're going to pull through and be able to get this thing done.